From the Fox 25 studios in Oklahoma City, this is the Fox 25 Primetime News at 9.
And right now we are monitoring a chance for winter weather across Oklahoma and the possibility of freezing rain.
We've got your back, letting you know if you're going to see a messy drive into work in the morning or on the way home.
Now here's a live look outside in Oklahoma City tonight where those temperatures continue falling.
Let's get right to Fox 25 meteorologist Carlo Falco with a timeline on when we could see some precipitation. Carlo.
Yeah, we are seeing those clear skies here in Oklahoma City right now. That's allowing those temperatures to fall very quickly. We are expecting temperatures to get down to about 19 degrees in the Oklahoma City metro once again. Saw a low temperature of about 13 degrees earlier this morning. This is all because of this cold front, which is working its way into northern Oklahoma as we speak. You can see it pushing in towards the Oklahoma City metro. We are expecting some cooler conditions as we go through tonight, courtesy of some strong northerly winds. This cold front is expected to get all the way down to the south of Dallas, and then we have the moisture to roll in. That means that our temperatures for tomorrow are going to top out right around 31 degrees, which is obviously below freezing, and we're going to bring in the chance for some rain showers as we go into the afternoon hours. So light freezing rain and drizzle for central portions of Oklahoma. As we get into the afternoon hours, some rain and snow up to the north and west of Oklahoma City, and flurries to end out this system as it pushes out towards the south and east. All rain down to the south and east of McAllister out towards Sallisaw. As you get into the later afternoon hours into the evening hours, we will see those rain showers continue to push on down towards the south and east. That means that ice accumulations, a glaze possible for the Oklahoma City metro down towards Norman and Pauls Valley. Once you get to Pauls Valley out to McAllister, you could see about 5/100ths of an inch to maybe 1/10 of an inch, as we are expecting some cold conditions down there, plus a lot more moisture expected with this storm system as it pushes off to the east. The Oklahoma City metro could see up to about maybe 1/100th to maybe 2/100ths of an inch as the storm system pushes in. I'll have your full timeline as to when all of this will continue to build and put down all of this ice coming up in your Storm Watch forecast.
And to stay on top of this possible winter weather heading our way, make sure you have the Fox 25 Storm Watch weather app. We're going to send you alerts if things get bad on the roads, and we'll let you know of any major traffic slowdowns across the metro. You can also see live radar right on your phone. Just search KOKH Weather in the Google Play or iTunes Store.
Wendy, thank you. Right now, those roads are not looking too bad. This is a live look at the Oklahoma road conditions map. You can see most of the state is clear tonight, but Oklahoma Department of Transportation crews are on standby right now. They're ready to salt and sand those roads if necessary. Oklahoma City has already pre-treated city bridges and overpasses today with a salt solution. And Fox 25's Caroline Vandergrift's got your back with how you can prepare for icy conditions. Caroline.
Well, with those bitter temperatures and the potential for freezing rain, things could get really dangerous quickly on the roads tomorrow. So if you are going to get behind the wheel, it's all about planning ahead to make sure you stay safe. First of all, you need to mentally prepare yourself for driving in hazardous conditions.
Tuesday could be the first day this year many Oklahomans see winter weather wreak havoc on roads.
We have short-term memory here on what to do when the ice arrives. We're not usually the best drivers.
That's why AAA is reminding drivers to go slow on icy roads and stay at least 3 times farther back from the car in front of you than you normally do. It's also a good idea to avoid driving on bridges and overpasses, since those tend to freeze first. Even better, avoid driving altogether.
When you start hearing that the precipitation coming down is icy, there's no good reason to be out on the roads.
If you have to drive somewhere,
the best thing to do and most important thing to do is have a plan to be rescued.
When the weather turns bad and drivers aren't prepared, it's not uncommon for AAA to get 900 calls for rescues a day in Oklahoma.
Battery calls. Lots of battery calls. Usually the colds, it just kills the batteries.
Dylan Foster is preparing for a busy Tuesday. If you get stuck in the nasty weather, he says to stay in your car.
If you're stranded and you have help on the way, just don't get out on the road. Just to stay in the car, safest place you can be.
And if you do get stranded on the side of the road, it's important to have an emergency kit in your car. You're going to want to make sure your cell phone is fully charged. Also, have your charger with you. You want to keep jackets, scarves, blankets, all those things to keep you warm. An ice scraper will also come in handy as well. And most importantly, make sure you have a full tank of gas, even if you're just going on a short trip. Mike?
Good advice, Caroline. Thank you. Now, we also have some advice from AAA for driving in the winter weather. First, minimize the need to brake by slowing down well before you reach a stop sign or a traffic line. If you do skid on ice, ease off the accelerator and steer in the directions that you want the front of the car to go to, and go easy on those brakes. Plus, avoid hills or other dangerous roads during icy conditions. And Wendy, I understand that you have a few more ideas on how to stay safe.
Yeah, I did a little research. There are a few more things you can do tonight to get ready. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says planning and preventative maintenance are important year-round, but especially when it comes to winter driving. So we've got your back with a checklist. Take a look. Make sure you have plenty of windshield wiper fluid, and it's especially good if you can get that kind with de-icer in it. You can use a lot of fluid in a winter storm. Check your tires, including that spare tire. Make sure you have enough tire pressure and you're good to go. Also, you want to check your battery. It takes more power to start your car in these frigid temps.
Wendy, thank you. We're going to have much more on this weather system starting at 5 a.m. on Good Day OK. We'll have a live look at the road conditions from our traffic tracker every 10 minutes. And of course, Fox 25's meteorologist Marcy Novak will let you know exactly how things are looking as you head out to work.
Happening right now, a processional for a sheriff's detective that has been killed in the line of duty in Colorado Springs. Let's take you there live right now, where crews are on the scene speaking to those that have that appreciation for law enforcement or those that might have known him. Now, the sheriff detective was killed during a shootout at an apartment complex near Colorado Springs around 5 o'clock tonight. Officers from both El Paso County Sheriff's Office and the Colorado Springs Police Department were on the scene for a stolen car investigation when it happened. A second deputy and a Colorado Springs officer were also shot but did survive. The deputy that was killed had been identified as 34-year-old Micah Flick, who leaves behind a wife and 7-year-old twins. The suspect in that shooting has been killed. We'll keep following this for you right here at the live desk.
Let's take you live now to New York City, where Wall Street today suffered a huge blow. The Dow Jones lost more than 1,100 points, making it the largest ever single-day decline. And here's a live look at where those markets closed today. The back-and-forth action is an extension of the tension that emerged last week because investors are worried about bond market turmoil. But don't let it worry you into market mistakes. Fox 25's got your back, talking about the Dow dip with local experts. Fox 25's Jordan Lucero joins us here in the studio. Jordan?
The Dow dip today erased all of the big gains made this year, but the market goes up and it goes down. The experts say it's just a matter of time before it goes up again. When the closing bell rang, it did not close a good day on the New York Stock Exchange. The Dow Jones Industrial Average ended 1,175 points down. The second day in a row it finished down. Local financial advisor Rhett Wood says it feels worse because things have been good.
It's really unexpected because we haven't seen any drops in the last several months. Pretty consistently for the last 6 months or more, we've had a pretty calm and smooth ride upward.
At points during the downward spiral Monday, the Dow fell more than 1,500 points, the largest dip in history. For people close to retirement, Wood says it can cause a lot of anxiety, but he says you shouldn't let that get to you.
It's important not to make changes based on emotional swings in the market on up and down things.
He says 2 emotions, fear and greed, make people do the opposite of what they should when they invest. That's sell low and buy high. This plunge comes from investors worried about signs of higher inflation and interest rates that could derail the economy. But Wood says a 2-day change isn't necessarily an indication there's a major crash coming.
The market is still higher today than it has been a year ago or even before that. So investing, you need to have a long-term time horizon. And, statistically, there's more up years than down years.
Wood says you should keep an eye on your investments and make sure you're working with your age. If you're still decades away from retirement, more of your investments should be in stock, but they can also be so volatile that as you get closer to retirement, less should be invested in stocks. Mike?
Jordan, thank you. All new at 9. Take a look at this map. This is from Walgreens Pharmacy, showing that Oklahoma is one of the states hardest hit by the flu. You can see our state is in bright red. The map uses data compiled from retail prescriptions for antiviral medications used to treat influenza across Walgreens locations nationwide. Massachusetts Congressman Ed Markey is expected to introduce the flu vaccine bill this week. His proposal would spend $1 billion over the next 5 years to develop a universal flu vaccine.
Now let's get to a developing story. The Oklahoma State Department of Health is preparing to lay off more than 150 people next month. This is a live look at the health department's Twitter page tonight. These layoffs because of budget problems. According to the Oklahoman, 59 nurses will lose their jobs, as well as 28 patient care assistants. 50 office workers are also expected to be laid off.
Before us is a rare opportunity to bring forth an enduring reality to a promising future.
Governor Mary Fallin delivered her 8th and final State of the State. Just as the governor wrapped up her speech, though, protesters dropped a banner from the gallery. Take a look at this right here. The banner featured a drawing of Fallin's face with the words, "Oklahoma's state of despair." The protesters could be heard yelling, "You are a murderer and you are a liar," before being escorted out. Now, Governor Fallin's speech comes as lawmakers work to fully fund the current year's budget before working on funding levels for the next fiscal year. She emphasized the urgency of the situation and asked lawmakers to back a package of policy and tax changes dubbed Step Up Oklahoma. This is a plan endorsed by a group of Oklahoma's civic and business leaders.
And they did it because they love Oklahoma. We love Oklahoma. So now is our time to step up, to be courageous, to do our job, and to pass this plan.
The plan calls for a $5,000 teacher pay raise and includes increased taxes on cigarettes, gas and oil, and gas production. House Democrats say a few changes will need to be made before they get on board. A vote on some version of this package is expected to take place early in the legislative session, which began today and will continue through the last Friday in May. All right, coming up, what lawmakers are saying about the House Intelligence Committee's decision to release controversial and classified government memos.
Plus, watch the body cam video just released by police following the death of a Norman inmate.
And our very own Myron Patton breaks down where the Sooner basketball team stands in the race for the Big 12 championship.
And coming up on the Primetime News at 9, we're going to take you to Norman to the Sam Noble Museum. This is a really cool family event. We're going to tell you about this exhibit that's come through here that has a whole family, and it kind of teaches you more about the fluent generations. We'll explain about that and a whole lot more when we return on Fox 25 Primetime News at 9.
Fake weather posts on social media are becoming more common. We've got your back with how to spot them coming up on the Primetime News at 9.
We're continuing to follow that breaking news out of Colorado Springs, where 3 officers were shot at during a shootout. One of them died. You're looking live now at a procession going on in Colorado Springs, where those who knew the officer that was killed or the 2 that were shot are paying their respects. The entire law enforcement community is coming together, as this involved both the Colorado Springs Police Department as well as the El Paso County Sheriff's Office. A sheriff detective was killed in that shootout at an apartment complex as the officers were there investigating a stolen car. We do know that the 2 others are recovering in a hospital tonight. The deputy that was killed has been identified as 34-year-old Micah Flick, who leaves behind a wife and 7-year-old twins. The suspect in that shootout has been killed. You're looking at that very large police presence there as they honor the sheriff detective that was killed there around 5 o'clock this evening. We will continue following this story very closely for you right here at the live desk.
Social media is a great tool for spreading important weather information quickly. We use it here at Fox 25 to reach viewers like you.
Well, here's a live look at our Fox 25 Facebook page tonight, where we know many of you do go to get your weathercast, but it is becoming more and more common for false pictures or forecasts to be shared hundreds of times from really unreliable sources.
Fox 25's Marcy Novak explains how you can tell the difference.
Just by taking one look at a search for Oklahoma weather on Facebook, you see several accounts pop up. But just because you see it on social media doesn't mean you should believe it. We've got you back with how to spot a fake weather post from a real one. Social media has made it easy for anyone to pose as a meteorologist. Pictures like this one went viral, where someone edited a graphic from the National Hurricane Center showing a forecast for Hurricane Irma reaching the Texas coast over 10 days away. It is fake, or pictures that are clearly edited getting shared often, like this one. The National Weather Service in Norman shared this post several years ago of a tornado picture taken from their website and photoshopped to make it look like it was happening in another state several years later. The Weather Service also sharing this fake picture of a supercell that actually happened in 2004, but was reused in 2011 and photoshopped to make it look like it was over Lawton. Another fake picture that has been shared for years. This shark, photoshopped into floodwaters, made news headlines.
The challenge is starting to be at least who you can trust, who has the legitimate information, and who's just kind of doing things for views and likes.
To get those views and likes, some users will pick up images from the National Weather Service or forecast from years ago and share them. This can lead to people unnecessarily taking cover, changing or canceling plans when it's not needed, or even making the meteorologists seem as they are crying wolf.
And the worst thing that can happen is you don't act when you should because you kind of got numb to not acting during the fake information.
Patrick Allman, owner of Focus Marketing, says there are simple ways to spot a real weather post from a fake one.
Just check multiple sources, check NOAA, check your local meteorologist experts, and make sure that the information that you're sharing is current.
False weather information can also be posted by someone with no name or credentials. They will often focus on one model or one extreme solution that other meteorologists have already ruled out. Keep in mind this helpful advice shared by the National Weather Service in Norman. If it looks fake, it probably is, and don't share it. Another way to ensure you're sharing accurate information, know your meteorologist.
We are chatting live here.
Here at Fox 25, we utilize Facebook Live to share accurate information, but there are still things to watch out for.
Oftentimes people can even take old video footage and stream it as Facebook Live. Make sure that the information you're watching might have some kind of current date, time on it.
The best thing to do is to get your weather from someone that you know and trust. When you follow the Fox 25 Storm Team on social media, you get practical, informative, and accurate information without the scare tactics. For links to all of our pages, go to okcfox.com. I'm Marcy Novak, Fox 25 News.
New pushback from Democrats today after that controversial Republican memo was released.
We're going to tell you what's now headed to the president's desk and why the House Intelligence Committee's work is far from over.
And we're seeing another very cold night tonight with lows back down into the teens. That sets the stage for an icy day for tomorrow. I'll track out who could get the most ice, when it will be the slipperiest, all in your Storm Watch forecast coming up in about 10 minutes.
The House Intelligence Committee has voted to release Democrats' counter memo, and it's now headed to President Trump's desk. Behind us, a live look at the White House tonight.
Yeah, today's vote is in response to Friday's Republican written report alleging wrongdoing by the DOJ and the FBI in seeking warrants.
Team coverage tonight from Washington, beginning with Chief Political Correspondent Scott Bowman.
What documents get through this doorway these days are sending Washington into a spin and with a heavy dose of discord. Democrats keep insisting on release of their rebuttal to last week's Republican written allegations the Justice Department abused its powers, getting warrants to investigate the Trump campaign by using information from a source who was biased against Trump and then not disclosing it.
So this shouldn't be a Democrat or Republican thing. It should be, have they weaponized our government against us thing.
The Democrats in the Hillary campaign paid for dirt that the FBI then used to get a warrant on an American citizen to spy on another campaign.
Meanwhile, the president says the Republican prompting the release, Devin Nunes, could be labeled a great American hero and claims it vindicated him in the Russia probe.
If the House Republicans believe they've set the stage for this president to end this investigation, they are basically saying that in America, one man is above the law.
But there could be more memos to follow. Trey Gowdy, the only Republican committee member supposedly to see the FISA application,